Sit, turn type, sit. Good boy. Ruff.
Moving slow on the screen.
Yeah, we're having already technical problem. Yeah, you're definitely moving slow.
Yeah, you see that? Look at that. Ooh. I don't know.
Yeah, this holiday season's upon us. This weekend, both of us are very much not feeling very festive right now.
Mm-mm.
Maybe in a week or two,
Yeah.
but I don't know. How are you usually around the holiday season?
Honestly, it's hit or miss. Not the most festive for me, but I try to stay festive for other people around me. Like, well, the kids, they're at that point where they don't really care. They just want their gifts.
Mm-hmm.
When they were little, that was different. But now, I don't know. I feel like it's the end of the year. Everything's kind of like moving at like a breakneck pace.
Mm-hmm.
And next thing you know, it's Christmas, and then my birthday falls after Christmas, so then it's like my birthday, and then New Year. Well, it's my birthday's on New Year's Eve, so it's like all rolled up into one crazy ball of activity, trying to get gifts last minute, and it's when you're a little kid, it's such a great time because you're the one getting everything. Everything is catered to children, but then once you're the adult, you're like, oh, this sucks.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel that this year because with my 5-year-old nephew, he's wanting everything under the sun.
Oh,
and I get Christmas is Christmas is pretty much for the little kids and with the parents.
Mm-hmm.
Watch them have fun, but now this guy make one complaint about these elves on the shelf. They're the most stupidest things I've ever seen in my life.
I know.
I mean, my sister's already dressed him up as a snowman, puts him in the tissue box, make him sleeping. And my nephew is so serious about this that like I got like close to the thing, and he like started punching me in my stomach. He's like, if you touch Buddy, all the magic goes away. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that rule. Let me get away from Buddy.
Yeah, my manager at work, she has 2 sons who are they're teenagers now, so she doesn't have to do it anymore. But when it started, they were little ones, and she was coming up with the craziest scenarios for this freaking elf. And she was, like, and it's funny because she was like always complaining, but she would come up with the most creative little positions for this freaking guy. And I'm like, dude, like, you're complaining that you don't want to do it anymore, but look at what you're doing. You're just enabling it.
You know what the funny thing is? I think they give you like a manual to tell you like they give you ideas of what to do with said elf. I'm just imagining Jay taking that, just ripping it, bending it over, in like weird odd positions.
Yeah, no. I mean, she was literally building props for it. Yeah, building props, and making little outfits. And she had both, the girl and the boy. One for each kid.
Right. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, like, some parents are into it, some parents aren't. I mean, there's other videos out there where people accidentally burn their elves on the shelves, and the fucking outcomes are horrific. I mean, and the thing, too, is, like, it's the face. It's the face that throws me off, too. It's so creepy. Because once that's melted halfway, that's pretty much a theme for a horror movie.
Exactly. Yeah, things like that make me glad that I never had kids of my own.
Aw.
I mean, listen. It just it's a lot of things to be a parent that sometimes I just don't have the mental capacity to do. But who knows? Who knows?
That's probably the best word for it, because there's some people that like they have no patience for it, or just like they hate children.
Right. Okay. I don't like how slow I'm moving right now. I don't know what to do. Let me try. Let me test something. Let me test something. Am I better now? Oh, see, look.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, it was something else plugged into my laptop. I had to unplug it. Well,
Wow.
that sucked.
We're doing it live, and that was our intro. So, welcome to episode 9 of History and Headlocks. I'm Mike, and she is the lovely Ariana. And for this episode, it's funny, when we were just discussing topics to cover, WWE made a special announcement for one of their old school premium live events. I mean, I would call it the original premium live event.
Mm-hmm.
That is coming back, and it's called Saturday Night's Main Event.
Yes. Yes.
First off, Ariana, I'll give you the floor. Memories of Saturday Night's Main Event.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, I was a kid when they started doing Saturday Night's Main Event, and it was always like, it was always like a special event, right? Like you knew it was coming. It's going to be on a Saturday. It was going to be, larger than life. It wasn't going to just be watching like Superstars of Wrestling or Wrestling Challenge on the weekends, because those shows basically were just squash shows, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just have like somebody come out, beat up a jobber, have maybe a couple of interview segments with other wrestlers, and that was it. You never really got to see your favorites compete on the show, if your favorites were the upper card guys, because they never appeared on the shows. You would see them on pay-per-views, maybe an interview, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
But you knew that Saturday Night's Main Event, especially if in your household you weren't allowed to order pay-per-views, you could watch it for free on NBC, and you get to see Hulk Hogan, the Macho Man, Andre the Giant, all these major names and compete with each other. And it really was actually, to me, bigger than the actual pay-per-views. It was fun. It was exciting.
Remember, Mr. Editor, lower the volume so we don't get copyrighted.
Yeah, it's got these.
I know we want to listen to the theme, but like for everybody at home, we'll just look it up themselves. But audio, we always got to remember to lower the audio before.
Yeah.
But as far as like Saturday Night's Main Event, like you mean, would they always air them before their big shows? I mean, like before SummerSlam, Royal Rumble.
Yeah. They were pretty much seasonal, coinciding with the pay-per-views, right? But they would air whenever SNL wasn't airing a live episode.
Yeah, that was interesting to find out when I'm doing the research, because you pretty much gave word for word, or like almost word for what it was when like on the Wikipedia version of this.
Right.
But just the idea that Saturday Night Live would sometimes miss a week if they were doing Saturday Night's Main Event. I mean,
and then it also, like, looking into it, I discovered that one of the producers of Saturday Night Live collaborated with Vince McMahon to get Saturday Night's Main Event on the air.
Makes sense.
Yeah, he saw that MTV was having success with some of the wrestling specials they were doing with WWE. Mm-hmm. So he wanted to bank on that too. Like, hey, let's bring these specials on national TV during the time slot where it's a large audience watching Saturday Night Live already. So might as well take advantage of that time slot, that audience, and put on a big wrestling show. Mm-hmm.
Originally broadcast by NBC from 1985 to 1992. And like you mentioned, would replace Saturday Night Live. It's a time slot on an occasional basis. Blah blah blah. And it's just for because when the era that you had Saturday Night's main event, and the era that I had Saturday Night's Main Event when it came back in say 2006, it's like a tale of two different eras, two different types of shows. But looking back on a lot of the stuff that happened old school, I mean, this was pretty much Vince's entertainment wheelhouse, where it's like he had the wrestling on, but made sure he had his laughs, his ha-has. I mean, any ones that stand up for you over the years?
Yeah, I remember there was that Halloween party that they had, and they were all backstage in costume. So you had I think Mean Gene was dressed. I want to say he was dressed like a genie. Mm-hmm. with his big floppy hat on and whatnot. You had Macho Man and Elizabeth dressed like Tarzan and Jane. And then you had the Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov dressed like Batman and Robin. And if Jay could pull up a screenshot of them in their costumes, that would be gold. So that was hilarious. And there were other wrestlers there too. I just can't remember off the top of my head who was there. But one of my favorite comedic segments would be when the Bushwhackers and Mean Gene did Oktoberfest. And they were dressed in their lederhosen and they were eating cheese and all this other stuff. It was just so silly and so cute. And you could see how, especially during the Attitude Era, how Raw and SmackDown with their silly backstage segments, like that what we saw on Saturday Night's Main Event was like the predecessor to that kind of content, the sports entertainment part of wrestling.
Right, and I mean the comedy is compared to. I mean, I get what you're saying, but the comedy, like you said, I mean, look at that nonsense.
Roddy, super Roddy.
You gotta just imagine they're getting paid a lot of money for this. They don't give a shit, and you gotta think that from not bumping to not doing anything crazy in the ring, this is just fun for them on the weekend.
Of course, and I'm sure a lot of it was pre-taped because they did a lot also off, like on site, like at a zoo or at like a resort or some crazy stuff like that. So a lot of it was pre-taped. So during their downtime, they'd go travel, do these silly segments with Mean Gene Okerlund, have a blast.
I mean, look at Miss Elizabeth. I'm surprised Randy let her out with that outfit.
Look at that tiny little waist.
A lot of women wanted that waist, I would say.
I know.
So I mean, we're in an era now where people are very comfortable with themselves. People want to be big, small, whatever. So.
Oh yeah.
But moving on, but just looking at a lot of the main events too, because they did interlude wrestling as well. A lot of Hulk Hogan, because I mean, around that time, and we'll get into it in the future, but Hulk Hogan was pretty much the golden boy of this whole entire era. So you can't do anything without the man's face on it.
Not at all.
Would you say Hulk Hogan had that John Cena effect of the time, where when he would pop up and he would get booed, or would adults boo and kids cheer?
I mean, at that time, I don't. If people booed him, it was a very few amount of fans that
were people afraid to boo the good guys.
I think at the time it was very much that, like, you don't boo the good guys, you boo the bad guys. The good guys, you cheer for them, even if you don't like them. You cheer for them because that's their role.
Right.
And fans kind of had to play that. That's their role too, is to stick to the script. Right? It's not like now where faces will get booed by people and they'll try to stick them down our throats as much as possible. But back then, Hulk Hogan, he got the cheers immediately. He was the face. He's the one that people really tuned in to watch.
Because I'm just looking at all these Saturday Night's main events, and these main events are definitely main events. I mean, Hulk Hogan, what was one? Kamala versus Jake Roberts, and Hulk Hogan and Ken Patera versus the Heenan family, Andre the Giant, and Hercules.
Wow.
Jesus. Well, Randy Savage against Andre the Giant. That sounds like a match I would want to go back and look just to see how Andre would work on Macho Man.
Right.
Hogan Boss Man, Hogan and Honky Tonk Man, Hogan and DiBiase, Hogan and the Genius. I remember actually this one being a big thing because I believe the Genius actually won this match by DQ or something. I
believe so. I forget how it worked out, but there was like a surprise match. I mean, a surprise ending to that match, yes.
And then Hulk Hogan, the Ultimate Warrior versus Perfect and Genius, because this was leading up to the Ultimate Showdown.
Right.
So they did all this until 1992, and then, do you remember a reason why they didn't continue the series?
I just think the ratings started to drop. At that point, with wrestling being on cable, you had Raw. Well, Raw still hadn't became Raw yet, but you still had like primetime wrestling on USA Network. Mm-hmm. And I think just wrestling became much more accessible for people, so they probably weren't getting the ratings that they used to get. And then you know how these networks are, as soon as ratings drop, they cut it off.
because last Saturday night's main event before they came back in 2006 was Bret Hart as the champion against Papa Shango.
Wow.
And that was in October 27, 1992. And I think Raw, like we were talking about Raw, I think Raw was about to debut in the new year. So I believe.
In the new year, right.
Because I believe, like you're saying, the mentality
January.
was we need a week. I think they need a weekly show.
Yeah, because I remember primetime wrestling used to be in that same time slot as Raw on USA Network.
Mm-hmm.
And, it didn't have, obviously, it was a completely different format from any of the other shows. You'd have like Vince McMahon and Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby the Brain Heenan in a studio with a live studio audience. And they would show matches that were pre-recorded.
I'm shocked you forgot to mention this. The comedian they put on commentary the first month, Rob Bartlett. When they put
on Raw?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was talking about primetime wrestling.
Oh, okay, yeah. But
when they were in studio doing commentary.
I mean, we'll definitely do an episode on Monday Night Raw, the origins and how it's evolved. But yeah. So like Saturday Night's main event goes away. Monday Night Raw is probably the predecessor to that, honestly.
Oh yeah, it was
the mixture of wrestling challenge, all that stuff. But then when it came back during my era in 2006, it was definitely. I don't know how to describe it. It was definitely a weird thing because they never advertised it as a pay-per-view. They said it's going to be a Saturday night thing for you and your family to watch. So, like, the first main event they advertised, which, funny enough, opened the show, was the WrestleMania main events in a handicap match. So, Cena and Triple H against Rey Mysterio, Kurt Angle, and Randy Orton.
Mm-hmm.
And this was, I think, the second time Cena and Randy Orton actually touched in the ring. So, that was something. And you got to see Triple H and Rey Mysterio work for the first time.
Right.
And then, of course, it all goes out with a whimper when Shawn and Shane McMahon are doing the Montreal Screwjob for like maybe the 50th time at that point.
Mm.
But I mean, as far as like the first year they did it, they really there was no ha ha or like, no funny thing. I mean, they had Stone Cold and JBL on a beer drinking contest. I mean, okay,
right.
I mean, how many times have we seen they pull out Stone Cold for all these things and it's just a random beer drinking contest against JBL?
Exactly.
And then they do another one where it's DX against the Spirit Squad. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm looking at it too on my screen. Yeah, it almost felt like, I mean, I never got to see the reboot for Saturday Night's Main Event, but it just feels like they were just throwing on a show just to throw on a show. Right?
It was all about this.
It was all about the money. Because at that point, you had Raw, you had SmackDown. They had already bumped up their pay-per-views to more than 4 a year.
Don't forget the third brand. Don't mean to interrupt you, but don't forget they also did ECW.
Oh, ECW, right? The ECW brand. So it just felt like, it almost sounds like they just recorded whatever random matches and just threw them on the show.
They pretty much did the nightmare that everybody has of these days, where it's like 4 wrestling shows during a week. Where not for nothing, there's like 6 wrestling shows a week now for all different promotions. But it's like you're asking a lot of your fan base to say, watch another hour and a half of the same matches.
And then at that time, they were the only one really, besides TNA, that had a show on TV.
Right.
Right? And so it was just overkill at that point.
I mean, they're doing a lot of, like, you look at the match cards, and there's nothing that really stands out. So we'll talk about one. But, I mean, all these matches are TV matches. Batista and Benoit against Edge and MVP. Batista and Kane against Finlay and the Great Khali. John Cena and Edge for the title. Edge and Jeff Hardy. Like, we've seen these matches over and over and over again.
I'm here like, who's Montel Vontavious Porter? Then I realized that's MVP. I don't know why they put his. I mean, I guess he went by his whole name by that point.
Well, I guess Wikipedia doesn't want to put MVP because it would go to something else. So
probably, yeah.
But there was 2 things that they did during Saturday Night. I'm not going to talk about the Divas nonsense because we already know the bull riding competitions and bullshit, whatever the hell they did. But the weird 6-man tag, if Jay has the graphic for it, it's Kane, Doink the Clown, and Eugene versus Kevin Thorne, Viscera, and Umaga.
Oh Lord Jesus Christ.
and they advertised it as the freakiest match in WWE history. Well, the freak show match.
Just don't. I mean, that's.
There's no words.
I'm laughing because I'm replaying what the names that you just said, and I'm like, wow, who came up? Like they just pulled names out of a hat.
I mean, Kevin Thorne from ECW, Viscera and Umaga from Raw, Kane was on SmackDown,
Oh
Eugene was on Raw as well, and Joint the Clown was somebody under makeup. I think it was probably Brooklyn Brawler, maybe, but
God, somebody under makeup, right?
but they get a payday out of it.
Uh,
And then I guess one of the interesting ones they did for Saturday Night's Main Event, it's like it's such a tale of two different Saturday Night's Main Events because you had all the wrestlers at Oktoberfest having fun, and then you get this.
it feels like the one in the '80s was like where they wanted to feature the big names on national TV when they could.
Right.
And then it's like this reincarnation of it was just throw every jobber
Weird
possible.
looking, yeah.
Yeah. Throw the guys who barely get any TV time.
Hey, don't call Kane and Umaga.
No, they were in jobbers, right? The other guys, maybe borderline jobbers, but it's like put the guys who don't get that much main TV time in that era on the show.
I mean,
so it's like they flipped it,
Just look at this graphic. I mean, think about the character of Kane and his two fucking tag team partners.
I know.
It's a Vince haha.
It is
for shits and giggles.
But it's a cruel haha.
Yeah, like the fans weren't happy to watch this. Like I remember, I had to go back and watch this match and think this. Like I gotta see the fans' reactions.
I wouldn't tune in to watch that.
The fans were pretty much sitting on their hands, didn't give a shit.
No, I'm sorry. I would not waste my Saturday night to watch this. I wouldn't. I'd be like, yeah, I'm going out. Bye.
Meanwhile, on that same show, they opened with Hulk Hogan, of course, and he's out with his daughter that he loves. Like, no, did I say that out loud? No. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the lead to him and Randy Orton at SummerSlam. Like, they do the cool, slightly cool, interesting things at the beginning of the show, and then they gave you that shit as your main event.
Yeah, like that could have opened the show,
and
then led into other segments from there. Yeah, that's garbage.
And then,
garbage.
And then, of course, they do their weird little gimmicks where Matt Hardy has to have a boxing match with Evander Holyfield.
Of course.
Because Matt Hardy and MVP were having a contest to see who's better than the other one. So then,
I remember watching Matt Hardy's podcast where he was talking about that, and I was like, "Wow, this sounds interesting, to say the least."
Yeah, it's not a random drug thing he had. This was a real thing WWE had him do.
Mm-hmm.
Evander Holyfield, one of the best boxers in the world. Not in the prime of his life, I would say. But you know
definitely.
What? He still did good. And it's also weird, too, because we've seen over the years a lot of boxing fights. Piper and Mr. T, where they have to gimmick the gloves for the wrestler and make sure the actual fighter has real gloves.
Right. Right. I know. He sounded like he was a good sport throughout the whole when he was discussing it. Like it just you could tell how much of a good sport Matt was. He took a lot of shit.
Well, he was a company man. I mean, we gonna say no. I'm not. Yeah. I'm not gonna have a fake boxing fight with Evander Holyfield. Fuck
he's not. He's not one to say no. He's gonna be like, all right, we're gonna do what we gotta do. Let's put the show on.
Yeah. Do you want to take a guess on when the last Saturday Night's Main Event was before they announced this one?
Well, I got the screen open right in front of me.
I was gonna say you could cheat.
Well, it was 2008.
Right.
So it's been It's been a while.
Mm-hmm. So
it doesn't feel like it's been that long though.
So what I wanted for us to do is pitch some ideas. Is with the announcement that not only is this going to be the first one, we're going to have a second one next month already, which you and me already commented on with Jay's Terminal Tabloid Wrestling Rundown. That they should space these out a little more, but if maybe that's the plan after January, but
maybe.
I mean, aside from this one, because we already know what's pretty much planned, like any ideas that you would do for Saturday Night's Main Event?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like it's just going to be a straightforward show. I don't think there's going to be anything special or stand out about it. But if it were up to me, and I'm not the biggest fan of this on current wrestling, but bring some of that goofiness back. Do some. It doesn't. It doesn't be solely cheesy, campy, but do some stuff offsite with some of the wrestlers, where they're visiting someplace or they're getting involved in an activity somewhere, like they used to do back in the day. Because those little segments, you kind of got to see them just be themselves. It had a little levity to it. It took away from the drama of what was going on in the ring. So why not?
So is the answer pretty much pull the curtain back as far as you can? You just let the wrestlers have fun?
Yeah, I wouldn't say pull, because we see them having their fun moments backstage nowadays anyway, when they do like R-Truth segments or whatnot. But let's see them outside of their element a little bit.
I mean, like you mentioned them. I mean, like the first thing that comes to my mind is like sending Otis out there to like eating competitions and letting him destroy the competition. I mean, like just like him like beating little kids and eating contests. I don't know, like something stupid and silly like that.
Yeah. I mean, give these guys something a little different to do. But the problem is with this being a live broadcast, because back then they weren't. Yeah, I mean, they weren't live. They were everything was pre-recorded and put together.
You're telling me that the thing at the Oktoberfest was all live?
It was all live on TV. But you know what I mean? Like, I'm wondering, like, how could they pull that off while it's a live broadcast? I mean, I guess you could. Obviously, they're going to put it on the Tron for the fans in Nassau Coliseum and whatnot. But I don't know. I don't know. I mean, besides that, I don't know what else they can do to make the show stand out from Raw, SmackDown, and everything else that they pump out.
The only other thing I could come up with, and they've done this idea, we mentioned it before, but I feel like once I mention who to feature it with, you're probably gonna go ugh on me, but a Jake Paul boxing fight advertised for Saturday night's main event.
I mean, I could see that happening.
But the problem is, when I'm thinking about it, who on the roster would fit that? Like, it has to fit the gimmick. I mean, because Jake, it's already mentioned, he doesn't fight real fighters. He fights retired boxers.
All right.
He takes the training seriously, but if you were to tell him, hey, work it for entertainment, I mean,
yeah, like
Can you imagine Randy Orton putting a pair of boxing gloves on, boxing this kid?
Just knock him the hell out, bro.
The thing is, you do like the 1-2 jab and then hit an RKO, and that'd be just like 5 minutes of nothing. And then you got
exactly. That's all they'll do.
Right. I mean, you could do silly, you could do all-star main events, because I mean, we looked through some of those, but they did have back in the day big main events, like you said, like never before seen matchups. I mean, Macho Man and Andre the Giant.
Right. Exactly.
Hogan and Warrior teaming up for the first time ever.
Exactly. I mean, who could they do? They could put like Roman and Randy as a tag team.
Roman and Cena. Two of the greatest of all times. I mean,
or do something really wild. Like Roman and Seth. Even though we have seen them before, but
you know what? With the way they're going on TV about intertwining a lot of the storylines, it would be interesting if they advertise. You know what? On the upcoming Saturday night's main event, it's going to be Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns, and like say for the last time.
Or hell, pair them up. I don't know with who, against who, but I don't know. I just feel like it would be. We could pair them up against Sammy and Kevin.
Just two enemies of each other that don't like each other. They have to team up.
But I mean, Sammy and Kevin, they have their on and on friendship. I don't think they've broken up. Did they break? Wait, hold on.
The teasing on SmackDown, because Kevin said, when it comes to Sammy, I'll deal with that later. Because he said with the Usos, they're always going to be kissing their cousin's ass. When it comes to Sammy, I'll deal with that on my own. Blah blah blah. But
I mean, that would be an interesting thing to see, because you will never see Seth and Roman truly interact with each other until they move the bloodline to Raw at some point.
I just see this whole Saturday night's main event revival thing as possibly extra ways to get Cena's to milk his 1-year retirement tour.
Oh yeah.
Because you're not going to see him every week on Raw and SmackDown. Because
Mm-mm.
they're going to definitely advertise one first time ever. I mean, if they advertise John Cena for the first time on TV versus Dominic Mysterio, or John Cena
Mm-hmm.
goes for the Intercontinental title, the one belt he hasn't held yet, goes against Braun Breaker type of thing.
Right. Yeah, I could definitely see them taking advantage of those types of stars to make special appearances on Saturday Night's Main Event because it's going to catch people's eye. It's going to make people want to tune in. Yeah. So Cena, some of the older guys that you don't see anymore pop up.
And I know once I say this name, you're going to go, ugh, but Goldberg.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that too. Like, I'm trying to be biased about things right now. Unbiased, I should say, about things right now. But yeah, that's a great place to put Goldberg.
Because your money's not being spent on Goldberg. It's just that a lot of people would pay money to say, you know what, let's go see Goldberg's last match ever.
Some people would, yeah. Ever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, they could reserve that for a PLE, but why not? I mean, I feel like they're gonna treat these like PLEs anyway with that kind of level. They may not be as long as them, but the specter of it is going to be like a PLE, you know?
Well, this was weird because when I was watching Deadline last night, they referred to that as the last PLE of the year. So I'm because Saturday Night's Main Event technically is also airing on ABC Live and Peacock at the same time. So I'm guessing this is going to be a TV special thing. They're going to treat it as like they're going to classify it not as a PLE. So
yeah, like their end of the year show.
Yeah,
I could see that because they don't have a PLE for December, correct? Or January, right?
Yeah, this is it. This is the last show of the year.
So this is their way of still getting PLEs in without having actual PLEs on.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, Saturday Night's Main Event could also be treated as standalone special pay-per-views. Because I mean, everybody's been pitching for Evolution 2, an all-female pay-per-view. That could be a Saturday Night's Main Event edition, like Saturday Night's Main Event Evolution 2. Boogaloo.
I think that would be a brilliant idea.
I mean, because the more I'm thinking about Saturday Night's Main Event, it seems weird to bring it back. I mean, we'll talk about what they're doing for the first one, but going forward, I definitely see it as definitely cash money bribes for people to come to the shows, but it's also there's going to be a gimmick around it.
It has to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't just bring it and make it a standard show because it's not gonna stand out from anything else that they already do.
I mean, an all tag team special, something like
stuff like that.
Yeah, because I mean, when the women have the mid card belts now, you could definitely. There's no real excuse to say, "Hey, we're not going to do Evolution 2."
No.
But you can just now classify that Saturday Night's Main Event,
right? Or they could even do some sort of special tournament on that show, right? Like they used to do some of those like cups and classics and whatnot. They could do that on a Saturday Night's Main Event.
Yeah.
One night.
Oh, I was gonna say King and Queen of the Ring, but they already brought that back on its own. But
yeah.
I see what you mean.
They bring back like the Mae Young Classic.
And you know what? Bring in some indie talents. I mean, not for nothing, they're doing this WWID program nonsense. I mean,
they're not going to do that.
Or maybe the working relationship with TNA.
Yeah, because that kind of tapered out a little bit there now. So why not do a special with them?
We've been waiting for a TNA NXT crossover episode. I mean, what if NXT takes over Saturday Night's Live?
Yeah, they could do one of those
specials.
I don't see why not. I mean, give them a little something to do with that, you know?
Because they want the fans to know about their new roster guys. Because eventually, a lot of these guys that some people that might not know about are going to be on the main roster sooner than you think. So
right. You could do like a mini takeover.
I mean, It's been a while since we've had a takeover special.
I think that would be I think that they could bank on that.
Now, as far as they're bringing back Saturday's main event, they're bringing back Jesse Ventura. How excited are you for this?
I'm actually excited about it. I hope that he's still. I mean, he sounds like he's still got it in terms of his, his speaking and how he presents himself. So I'm excited. I'm just wondering, like, who are they going to pair him up with? Cole?
I mean, you would think it's going to be him and Corey Graves. They'll do a 3-man booth.
A 3-man booth, yeah, because I don't think I don't know if he still has it to carry as a 2-man.
True.
Like he used to back then.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, he needs that super straight laced person with him, which I would say would be either Michael Cole or I forget the new guy's name.
Joe Tessitore.
Yeah,
Mm.
because he's very straight laced. Like he's just straight down the middle. He doesn't really have one liners. Michael Cole sometimes throws his little jabs here and there, but I don't really hear this guy saying much to Wade.
Let's be real here. Since Vince has stopped yelling in his ear, Michael's gotten a lot better.
Oh God, leaps and bounds better.
I mean, also too, because again, this is gonna be the theme of the episode: naming people Ariana does not like. So if I wanted to know who she doesn't like, here's your list. What if they bring in it's Michael Cole, Jesse Ventura, and Pat McAfee?
Yeah, I could see that being the case.
Because they also announced Pat McAfee's coming back full time next year.
Right, he's coming back full time, which I was like, hooray! But
just in time for the Netflix deal.
But that little team up can work because I could see Jesse Ventura kind of calming down Pat McAfee a little bit.
I mean, you just have to wait for the insults for Jesse to give to him. Like,
Yeah.
my God, you're so hyper. Like, what drug are you on?
Pencil neck geek.
Or he's gonna make a Vince reference. He's not gonna refer to him as Vince. He goes, "You remind me of some other young punk that had a stupid ass haircut."
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, I think that actually wouldn't be a bad one. You have Michael Cole there, like being the guy, like, okay, guys, yeah.
Can you guys calm down and call a damn match for once?
Can we focus on the match? Yeah, exactly.
And then because they announced Jesse Ventura, and they also alluded to other wrestlers coming back, and then of course Hulk Hogan was the first person pitches, and the amount of heat Jesse Ventura and Hulk Hogan have.
Oh yeah.
Would you even dare put them on the screen at the same time? Hulk Hogan's in the ring making the crowd go happy, and Jesse's on commentary. There's that fucking that prick Hulk Hogan. That backstabber.
He's thinking it at least. Oh my God. I mean, I if it's all about money and ratings, might as well do it.
NBC would have a fucking field day with that. They're like, oh my God.
Yeah. I don't even think NBC would even be aware of what's going on behind the scenes with WWE,
They'd probably just think about everything that Hulk Hogan's been doing for the last couple months and think, what could possibly go wrong? Trumpomania will run wild on you. Cut the feed.
But and NBC is a liberal channel, so uh-huh. Yeah.
I mean, as far as this year's Saturday Main Event too, I mean, they announced Cody and Kevin Owens WWE title. I don't think do we think a title change is possible?
I don't see it happening. I would love to see it happen, though. I would love to see KO finally win that belt again. Is it going to happen on Saturday Night's Main Event? No, I don't think so.
I feel DQ beats BS.
Yeah, overbooked ending with people running in and all this other crap. Yeah.
Liv and Io Sky. Me and you personally would want Liv to drop this damn belt already, but I can see them. I see them dragging this to the Netflix debut. That's a sad thing.
Yeah, but I can't see Io winning the belt back
unless Strand has her blonde hair involved in this.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we know who's taking the belt off of Liv at this point. It's Rhea. She never lost it in the first place. They're gonna run with that. So. Sorry, Io.
This almost slipped my mind, but the finals for the U.S. Women's Belt 2, we already know it's going to be Bayley against Chelsea Green and not Naomi, but Tiffany Stratton and Michin in the semis. Out of those four, who would you rather give the belt to?
Michin.
Yeah, it's either her or Chelsea.
Yeah, Chelsea close second because she's been busting her ass too. But those two, I feel like they've been doing their thing, putting themselves up there, putting themselves out there, and I just feel like they never really get what they deserve, Because right now, Tiffany, she has the Money in the Bank briefcase, so it would just feel weird giving her a belt when she's focused on trying to get a belt. That doesn't make sense to me. It's redundant. I don't even know why she's in the tournament if she's got I don't know. it just felt weird throwing her in there when she has a goal, which is to get the title belt, the main title belt, right? And Bailey, look, I love Bailey, but we need fresh faces with belts.
I agree.
Yeah.
And then your most boring person you hate on God's green earth, Gunther.
Mm-hmm.
Damian Priest's mortal enemy, Finn Balor.
Yeah.
And
Well, Finn's not winning.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how this match is going to play off, only because, like you know, I had mentioned before, the last time Finn and Gunther wrestled, Gunther beat the living daylights out of Finn. He squashed him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Finn couldn't get any kind of offense on him in that match at all. So how are we going to now watch this match and believe that Finn's going to be able to defeat him when he could barely get offense in on him the first time around? Right? So unless he comes out with, like, the whole demon gimmick,
yeah. I just look at this card and I'm thinking, you know what, it's great to sign this main event's back, and they're going to do it again in January, but this card really doesn't scream like interesting, entertaining stuff. It sounds like run-of-the-mill normal things.
Mm-hmm.
Like a thought that just happened in my head. What if, for God's sakes, once again, we do a Judgment Day big tag team match where you do Carlito, Dominic, and Liv against Damian Priest, Rhea Ripley, and John Cena. Like, because something different. Like, have like Damian Priest interact with Cena. Maybe Cena can do the whole thing by saying, like, I'm the American hero, he's the Puerto Rican hero, and they both raise their arms. Like
exactly. Something we need.
And that just came off the top of my head. Like, just do random This is where Jay would go on universe mode and just do random matches and just see what pops up. And by the 5th attempt, you'll get something interesting.
You have to have a special attraction.
Right.
Like, didn't we already see? We already saw Kevin and Cody, right?
Yeah,
not too long ago.
Yeah.
Now we're seeing them again. It's like, okay, like there's like, it's like a lot of these matches we've already seen them. So there's nothing that makes you go, oh, this is going to be amazing. We've already seen Cody and KO. We've already seen Gunther and Finn. We already saw how those matches, ended up. Like, we're not going to see anything different.
I mean, I'm surprised before the end of the year, the diver teasing Cody and Roman 3. Which is kind of good because, I mean, you know what? Stay away from the bloodline stuff.
Yeah,
But if The Rock's not coming back, that's another issue too. But
he's coming back. Come on.
Yeah, no, that prick coming back and ruining WrestleMania again.
He didn't ruin WrestleMania. Are you insane? If it weren't for The Rock, WrestleMania would have been trash.
But do you remember the start of that build, though? It was nonsense.
That was all a work. All a work. Come on. Don't be naive, bro.
And the Ricky Starks and the Ricky Starks thing's a work too. While he's sitting at home getting a paycheck.
It's all a work. Come on.
See you January 25th, Vicky, because she's coming to New York City. I mean, the rare time we get to see him work is going to be here. So.
Wait, January 25th is HOG?
Yep.
Also, I guess we're not watching Saturday Night's Main Event that night because that's the next one, January 25th. I'm just looking at the screen now, like, oh.
Oh, interesting. But you know what? It's interesting because I mean, like, again, like, do oddball things. I mean, if you want to do the Rhea and Dominic match, Saturday Night's Main Event.
Absolutely.
Does NBC have a thing of no violence? Like men can hit women?
Probably.
Meanwhile, Rhea's gonna be just throwing this kid around like nothing.
I'm trying to think if there's any TV show. Well, you know what though? There's some TV shows that NBC run where we'll see violence against women. So. At this point, like you said, it's not going to be violence against a woman because she's going to be beating up Dom left and right in this match. So,
right. and you were going to tell how the crowd is because if they bleep "holy shit," we know. Oh, here we go.
Oh, yeah, no. NBC will not let that fly. I no. I mean, I wouldn't even be surprised if somehow, some way, they have a disclaimer before the show to the fans saying, "Hey, we're on national TV.
Watch your mouths."
Watch your mouths, which no one's going to listen because it's New York. So.
Fuck you. I mean, is Murderers allowed on NBC? Like the Wyatt Six allowed on the show? Like,
I mean,
like what's the limit?
You got Law and Order. you have Law and Order and Chicago PD and all these shows on the air. So,
I mean, to close out on Saturday's main event, it definitely had a lot of highs in the golden age, but nowadays I think it's very hard to come up with ideas where, because I think it's also too where they don't want to tiptoe the line of, because there's certain ideas that we mentioned that you could do on YouTube, which is perfectly fine. But as far as like for live television, there's so many boundaries you can't cross. I think in today's economy, it's so hard not to do something, and then the next day you get canceled for it. God forbid, because it's just a whimsical idea that they came up with just to get a pop rating.
Yeah, I mean, I thinking now, like I can't see the show being any more than SmackDown when it was on Fox.
That's a set. I mean, you could expect a Hall of Famer or somebody like that, but nothing more.
But nothing that's gonna be like completely out of pocket in certain things, because it's still a national channel. And they still have to live by their standards and practices. Mm-hmm. No blood.
I mean,
they don't even have blood now. They claim they allow blood again, but we didn't see any blood during the freaking War Games matches. Really.
Thank you. And the funny thing is, I was rewatching. I was thinking, wait, there's no blood. It's weird.
Yeah, I think it's weird. You remember me? Like I was yelling about that when we were watching it. When who was it? One of the guys. I think it was Jimmy that got thrown into the cage head first a few times, and I'm like, really? And he's not bleeding. He's not bleeding.
His shirt's more red than what his forehead should be.
His outfit.
Yeah, I mean, and all he got was a broken toe.
Exactly.
So, Saturday's main event. Happy it's back in a weird sense, but it's also like come up with some interesting fantasy booking ideas that, I mean, we riled off a bunch, but come up with some that we haven't thought of before ever. I mean,
yeah. I mean, for now, I'll watch it to see how it's produced and how it's played off. But I can't say if I'll be happy or not until it ends and see like how the show was put together. Because if it's just a standard show that feels like I'm watching Raw or SmackDown, then what's the point?
Cut to Kevin Owens winning the WWE title, and then just us with like shocked faces. But yeah, I highly doubt it.
I mean, for me, it's like how AEW has a Battle of the Belts, which is like their special that they put on quarterly, where at the very least every match is a title match of sorts. Like that would be kind of cool to see on it.
Randomly, but I mean that's probably one of those things Tony Khan did not want to do, honestly, but he had to do it. But I see your point.
Like it's
something meant to be bigger, but in reality, it's like
another show, right? But at the least it has a theme. Mm-hmm. Every match a title is on the line. So.
Or in some cases, eliminator match.
Eliminator match, right? Exactly. Which I could understand for some of them why they do eliminator matches, but
no.
But at the very least, they let's see something different with Saturday Night's main event. That's just not match, backstage segment, promo, vignette, backstage segment, commercial break. Let's just see something stand out from all the other shows.
And I'm also saying, before we officially close this one out, I'm not saying do oddball celebrities too. I mean,
no.
Don't bring in the Muppets. Don't bring in like Jeff Dunham with the puppets too. Don't do random ass celebrity people.
Bring back Beaker. Beaker and Sheamus.
You know what? I saw that clip the other day, and I remember watching that and thinking that's still funny to this day.
It was adorable when he was fixing Beaker's hair.
Well, the line before that. Oh, I can't make it to the family reunion this year.
That was masterpiece.
I mean, in today's day with the last celebrities, I mean, I was gonna say Hatua girl, but she's going to jail, so she's not gonna make an appearance on Saturday.
No, but yeah, listen, I don't mind if they're gonna have a celebrity appearance on the show, but they gotta kind of tie it in with some of the people that are already there.
I mean, Logan Paul's the first name. If he makes his comeback,
yeah, have Bad Bunny pop up. They could do something when Bad Bunny comes back and him and Damian reconcile on TV.
There you go.
Like, hey, I got your back if you need any help with these fools, you know?
I understand you were an asshole, but you're my asshole. That type of thing. I don't know.
Man, out of context, that sounds really,
And that's
woo.
why that's the end of this topic discussion for Saturday's main event, and we're now
Yeah.
moving on to this week in wrestling history.
Yeah.
History in Headlocks presents This Week in Wrestling History. History in Headlocks presents This Week in Wrestling History. History
Alrighty.
in Headlocks
For a third
presents.
time.
Whoa. Okay.
There we go. So with that out of the way, with multiple drops, I'll take care of the first one. This
Sure.
week in wrestling, December 5th in 2004. Macho Man Randy Savage wrestled his first and only match in TNA at the Turning Point pay-per-view. Sadly, it would also be his final ever professional wrestling match in a 6-man tag where he teams with Jeff Hardy and AJ Styles to face Jeff Jarrett, Scott Hall, and Kevin Nash.
Mm.
To think, 2004 was his last professional wrestling match, and
Yeah.
he didn't look good health wise, like physically too. Like this was the skinniest he ever looked.
Mm-hmm.
He wore jeans. He wore a big black sweater. Like he was protected from head to toe. I mean, just so sad. Like because he did pitch a bunch of ideas to go back to WWE. I mean, The Rock even pitched to work with him.
Yeah.
A few times.
Yeah.
But you happen to remember what Jeff Jarrett, Scott Hall, and Kevin Nash called themselves? And it's not the NWO at this time.
No, I don't actually.
The Kings of Wrestling.
Kings of Wrestling, yes. Yes.
Where Kevin Nash and Scott Hall, for shits and giggles, dressed up as Elvis.
Yeah, I remember that. That was wild, yeah. Yeah.
Also, a young AJ Styles and a young Jeff Hardy teaming with Randy Savage.
I know.
One of those weird dream teams that people don't think about.
But you know, and going back to what we were talking about, that's what Saturday Night's main event needs.
It just needs a draw. Like if you would advertise like Macho Man's first match in 4 years or 5 years at that point.
Exactly. And team them up with the two guys that were going to be
the future.
You know, the future for TNA. Well, one of them turned out to be more. Well, you know what? Never mind, because one of them is back there anyway. So, even though he's not the young star anymore, but
which we might cover an episode about him in the future.
That's for sure. We should.
Next up, in the year 2005, Eric Bischoff's reign as the general manager of Raw came to an end after 3.5 years. A mock trial by Vince McMahon ended with John Cena dumping Bischoff in the back of a garbage truck to mark his big farewell as a full-time character in WWE. It's not surprising that today people want to put Bischoff back in that dumpster truck.
Oh, please do.
I mean, not to go really into his opinions or all that stuff, but character-wise, as an asshole on Monday Night Raw, he was one of the best up there. He's not Vince McMahon level, but he was definitely up there.
Oh God, it's just I can't stomach that man. Even when he was just doing commentary in WCW, I couldn't stomach him.
Even when you couldn't see his face, not even the evil grin.
He just came off so slimy, too perfect, too polished. And you knew deep down under all that polish, it was slime. And that's what he is. He's a slime ball.
It was definitely funny when they shaved his head twice, and you can see like the pure white hair that he had.
Oh, you mean he didn't have super jet black hair naturally?
Meanwhile, I'm like questioning, like, how old is this dude? Like, why is his hair like that?
And it's like, and they keep trying to rehash him and bring him back. Stop, enough.
I will say this appearance on NXT recently had no meaning whatsoever,
and like really bad ratings. I mean, compared to previous
ratings. Not even a thing, but like logically, it's like, what were you there for?
He was just there to talk shit.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised he didn't make a comment like, "I'm glad I'm on this network on this program," because Sean and Hunter would have had a chuckle with that one.
Oh, you saw his little post on social media with Ego, where he was like, "Ooh, two dynamite guys! Oh, you're so brilliant." Dude, it's so bad. Like, you know how he just made that appearance on the MLW show?
Yeah, another one of those
Yeah.
off.
So that show, they was literally held like a 10-minute walk from my house. I was offered free tickets and I still said no because I just don't want to be in the same building with that guy. Free tickets to a show that I could take 10-15 minute walk to. Nah,
sorry, NLW, but if you want to work with us in the future, we're open to it.
Nah, man.
Never mind.
Just make sure that one-shot deal with Eric Bischoff is a one-shot deal.
All right. I'll cover this next one. This week, also in 2018, the Dynamite Kid, Tom Billington, passed away on his birthday at the age of 60 in his hometown of Wigan.
Wigan, I guess.
This is how Jay wrote it. The exact cause of death was never confirmed publicly.
Damn.
I mean, can we speculate? Steroid abuse?
It caught up to him, his heart.
I mean, it was the same thing with Benoit. I mean, when you're jumping at your height on your head, it's never a good feeling.
Absolutely. Yeah, because I mean, we know that his condition towards the end of his life was not the best.
Right.
Right? Like, wasn't he confined to a wheelchair before he died?
Yeah. I will say, as a wrestler standpoint, him and the British Bulldog, as the British Bulldogs, great tag team. But I was always more impressed with Davey than him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, Dynamite was dynamite in the ring. He really was. He was great. He had the potential to be a bigger star than what he could have been. But I think, you know, the abuse he put on his body with the drugs and whatnot and the steroids, it shortened his career. Plus, I heard, you know, his attitude wasn't the best either.
Oh yeah, he was a perpetual.
Yeah. So, you know, all of that caught up to him and just curtailed his career.
Yeah. I really have nothing else to say about the man. I mean, from what I've read, it's just pretty much from what you read and what you hear is pretty much what you got. Exactly. And I never saw any rebuttal he ever made to deny any of it. It was more of, yeah, he did it, but it was just because of the times. But it doesn't excuse a lot of the stuff he did.
No, not at all.
Have fun with the next one.
All right, so on December 6, 2004, Lita defeated Trish Stratus for the WWE Women's Championship. It was the last time a women's match took the main event spot on Monday Night Raw until 2016. Yeah.
12 years.
12 years. And I remember that match, and, you know, it was a big deal.
Do you remember the next spot where Lita did the dive and she pretty much folded like an accordion?
Oh, yeah, that was crazy. That was just like...
I think everybody in that moment was like, oh, this woman just ended her career.
She kept going, you know? And they put on a hell of a match. They went out there and they kicked each other's asses in that match. And they were like, look, we're going to be the main event. We're going to show them what we could do so we could see this more often. And the fact that it was the one and only match for 12 years as a main event for women on Raw was so baffling.
The funny thing about this episode is it was one of those random ones where like Jericho was running the show, so Jericho had like 3 Fozzy concerts. He had a tag match with Triple H. This is also the episode famously with Triple H, where Lillian Garcia is making her announcement as the former world heavyweight champion. And he takes her to the back. It was this show, but. The one time Triple H doesn't take the main event, they gave it to the women. You know what? When 2 best friends could go in the main event and beat the shit of each other and produce probably the best women's match at that point, I mean,
right? Especially during an era where women's matches was still like
2 minutes,
right? Or the occasional good one to put some of the actual wrestlers here, but let's focus on the bodies, right?
Next up.
All right, 2008, Dennis Rodman is declared the winner of Hulk Hogan's Celebrity Championship Wrestling Series. He beat Todd Bridges, in the finals.
Next. Wait. Who's Todd Bridges?
He's Willis from Different Strokes. What you talking about, Willis? Way before your time. Yeah, way before your time.
Gary Coleman couldn't make the save for this one?
I don't think had he died already by this point? I forget what year he died.
Jay, send us a text confirming that while we go through the next one.
Yeah.
Or I'll look it up.
2014, UFC announced they had signed former WWE superstar CM Punk to a 2-fight contract. He went on to lose both fights.
He died in 2010. Very cool.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, who knows? Maybe
At
he was
42 years.
still. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, he had a lot of health issues, so
Well,
since he was born.
speaking of deaths, CM Punk's UFC career. I mean, 2
Wait.
fights, and
We need the horns. We need the horns. The sound effect, something, anything, please. For me. Hey,
you got a wet fart.
that works.
Do you remember the one indie show we went to recently? And I think it was Mickey Gall. Mickey Gall was his first opponent, and he was on the show, and he was bragging about how he's the one that retired CM Punk.
Yeah, well, that was the win show. Yeah.
Yeah, he came out to Cult of Personality.
I wanted to be like, you're my hero. Because he had posted the picture of his fist bashed into CM Punk's face close up, and I was like, ooh.
This is another one. It's like
Mm.
in 2014, was the year that he came in with the podcast, talked about how he got fired on his wedding day, and that it was like 2 weeks later, I'm joining the UFC and I'm going to be a fighter. What? I'm sorry. What?
Like, are you serious, bro?
And then, of course, they brought up his age. He goes, age is just a number. I mean, guess what? That fucking kid beat the shit out of you.
Like, dude, like Teddy Hart beat you up in a parking lot, bro. Like, what are you doing?
And that, everybody, is a shoot. That's not just a bitter woman. That is a woman speaking a fact right there.
I'm upset that I went home after that show and didn't get to see that live.
Next up, finally we're going back to Saturday Night's Main Event, but this week, December 7th in 1987, WWE taped the 14th Saturday Night's Main Event in Landover, Maryland. The featured bout saw Hulk Hogan retain the WWF Championship against King Kong Bundy, my favorite Bundy family member. The other title match saw Strikeforce, Tito Santana, and Rick Martel retain the WWF tag team titles against the Bolsheviks.
Nice.
Volkov and Boris Zukov, 2-0 in a 2 out of 3 falls match.
Wow.
So, any comment about that one?
Yeah, I mean, listen, Hulk Hogan versus King Kong Bundy. You know, that was at that time a draw. That was a draw.
Yeah, in a cage,
know?
of course. Was that in the cage? I don't think so. No cage. But I'm thinking of the Mania match.
But you know, that was a draw. King Kong Bundy was a monster at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So people definitely tuned in just for that match alone. I mean, this, you know, Strikeforce versus the Bolsheviks. I can't. I mean, I don't really remember how. I mean, the Bolsheviks, obviously, everybody hated them because, you know, Soviet Union at the time, Cold War. Mm-hmm. But you know, to put, I don't know. I don't have anything to say about that match.
I think it's interesting to see where Rick Martel would go, because I think it was like that year's Mania where he turned on Tito, and then he became the model of Rick Martel.
Yeah, I mean he was great.
And it's also funny too because we talked about Jesse Ventura. Like he would kind of like Bobby. He would not care what he would say. He look at Tito and say, "Look at Jumpman being over there."
Yeah,
doing weird lucha things.
He would call him Chico Santana.
Chico Santana is needed at his taco stand.
Yeah, now I'm sure they're gonna be like, bro, just watch what you say if we have luchadors on this show, okay?
Oh my god, he looks at Rey Mysterio. He goes, "I have a field day with you."
with the mustache alone.
No, he would have a field day with Dominic more than likely because you just see, you'd be like, I have material fucking up to my eyeballs with you, kid.
Oh yeah.
Next up, December 8th in the year 1997, the night after defending his Intercontinental title against The Rock at D-Generation X in Your House, Jesus Christ, Stone Cold Steve Austin surrendered the belt to the same opponent rather than facing him in a match, declaring that he had nothing left to prove before hitting Rock with the Stone Cold Stunner and subsequently dumping the belt in a river the next day. In reality, this scenario enabled Austin to drop the title and begin his pursuit of the WWF Championship without suffering A momentum draining loss on the road to WrestleMania. A lot of things to say about this, but I'll start with you. Any memories
Yeah.
of this, or just
Yeah,
thoughts?
I do remember him dumping the belt. When he was on, like, it was like a bridge, right? Like a bridge or like some kind of overpass, and he
Mm-hmm.
just tucks the belt into the river. Um,
And then Stone Cold throwing a snorkel and a goggles, like, you're gonna need this, son. But I remember there was a report that a fan would go to that bridge and look for the belt and said it was the WWF old school type belt. It wasn't the Intercontinental belt
yeah,
they threw.
yeah, because I remember it wasn't the IC belt, because he chucked it in so quickly, but it definitely, you could see it wasn't the actual IC belt.
Yeah, when you look back on it, it's like one of those quick little things because he shows the belt on the camera, like goes down, drops it, switches it, and then just swings the tag belt
Swings it
over,
exactly.
like hucks it.
It's like when they throw a dummy instead of a human being and seen on a TV show.
There's also thinking about like Stone Cold's character too. He goes, you know what? I've had enough of this shit. I want that bigger belt. So you know what? Here,
Right.
here, kid, have this belt.
Exactly. He was like, "All right." I mean, it's a creative way of transitioning the belt from one person to the next.
I mean,
Just dump this crap.
yeah, in a way, did Stone Cold kind of disrespect the IC belt in that moment?
Oh, absolutely. He was. Wait, was he? He was face or heel at that point?
He turned face
He has her face. Yeah, I mean it. But then again, this is Steve Austin, and he had that "I don't give a fuck" attitude.
because
Like, I'll
not for
piss you
nothing.
off. I'll piss you off.
Is if you were booking, you'd be like, wait, if the goal was to get Stone Cold to hire, why
Mm-hmm.
didn't you just have The Rock beat him and say, you know what, I got to win over Stone Cold? But I guess
That too.
that played into their storylines later on. But this was like the
Yeah.
first official feud thing. Like this is before the
Right.
WrestleMania matches, and it
Right.
was all on a bridge.
Right. I mean, it's like like J Ro here. It was a way to take that belt off of him without suffering that loss, without taking that hit to his loss and making him look like, oh, he's weak, he lost to The Rock.
Mm.
So it was all to protect him.
I want you to take the next one because I have no memories of this. Actually remember her being on the show, but I don't remember like initially the announcement.
Yeah, sure. 2005 ABC, 12/8/2005, ABC Television announced that Stacy Keibler will take part in the new series of Dancing with the Stars. She would eventually finish third and make the final of the competition.
I forgot she placed third, but
Yeah.
yeah. So I believe this was the start dancing. So not for nothing.
Mhm.
2005.
And it's still on the air. It's up to
Okay.
like season 5,000 or something.
And not even to count all the other versions of it over in different countries, but
Yeah, it's a
for us
phenomenon.
here, in the United States, 2005.
Yeah, right.
Because I remember Stacy got moved to the SmackDown roster, and then they did her thing on Christian's show, the Peep Show, where she was like apparently dating Brad Pitt, and Jennifer Aniston wanted to kick her ass. Like, they played that
Hmm.
up, and then you never see her on TV again.
Right.
And then
Yeah.
the next thing I know, I see her on the George Lopez show.
She was on George Lopez show?
Yeah, she
Wait, the
was
talk show or the sitcom?
sitcom.
Really?
She was like dating
I
the
don't remember that
father-in-law.
episode.
She was
Oh,
dating the
man.
father-in-law.
I don't remember that episode.
But she pretty much went to Hollywood at that point, and you know what?
Right.
That was her own decision, and I guess the company was really not in favor of that because
Yeah, and it was not the best thing for her either.
you think so?
I mean, what did she do? What did she do in Hollywood? Tell me.
I mean, she was in a movie with I forgot the movie already, but she did have a few movies.
Yeah, I don't even know any of these movies.
Wow,
I think her claim to fame after leaving WWE was dating George Clooney.
that is true. I think pretty much she got back in the spotlight because of that.
That's it.
She wasn't. It's very like surreal to say that because when she was in WWE, she was everywhere. I mean, they pretty much made a mold of this woman's ass and put it
And
out for public at fan access.
A
And you had
skinny
little
ass.
kids, holding the ass, being like, "Hi."
her freaking no ass self. But
Wow.
but it's like yeah, sure, you were, you caught eyes when you were in professional wrestling, but they molded you literally in a certain light. Once you're in Hollywood,
You're the long legs ass girl.
yeah, the only roles that she probably would have gotten in Hollywood would have been like leggy blonde in a movie,
Funny
leggy
enough,
blonde in movie too,
that was pretty much her role in the George Lopez show. Leggy
right?
blonde dating old men.
Leggy blonde. Leggy blondes don't get starring roles like that. So I'm not sure what was she trying to pursue. She wasn't even that great of an actress.
She wasn't a wrestler. She was a dancer.
She was just a pretty girl, and even then, she was a dancer. She couldn't even win Dancing with the Stars.
Wow.
I was actually surprised. I thought she was gonna win it. I'm like, oh, she'll probably win it because she was a dancer, and then she didn't even win it. She
I
finished
think
third.
I thought so too because I don't remember who else competed against her, but like when because I knew
remember.
I knew her dance background, so I'm thinking, oh, she has an advantage. But no, but I guess it was like fan voting too, so cheering made her. So
Right, and it's like, I don't know. Now you see her, like, she's married, she's got her kids, as a beautiful life, but I just feel like, she could have probably gotten more out of being in WWE longer had she just stuck around.
And I will say, I did feel bad when she came back for the Hall of Fame because you know what, that was she did. I want to say she did something to leave a mark in wrestling. She didn't do a lot, but you knew eventually because it's the WWE Hall of Fame, everyone's going to be in it
at some point.
But regardless of your gimmick, whatever you did as your accolades, you're gonna get in. But just when she just stood there, and you know what, I give Tori Wilson credit too, where she goes, "I'm honored to be here." Meanwhile, I pretty much did nothing in my entire career except make a lot of boys feel something during their puberty era.
Yeah, I know that I think Tori Wilson looks back at her career in WWE and wrestling and thinks to herself, "Man, I could have, this wasn't really what I wanted to do."
Yeah, I remember I just saw the Christina Vita interview. I said, "If you were given the option, would you train or would you want to be champion?" She goes, "Hell yeah!" But they just restricted it to, "Oh, you're the hot bikini model. You're gonna be taking your clothes off every night." I mean, Stacy was the same way too, and that's I'm not dissing them when they say like they should have stood up for themselves, but they were in an era where they're making lots and lots of money. That was what their jobs were.
I mean, they were making the money, but they hated what they were doing. At the same time, they felt they couldn't speak up because if they spoke up, they would lose that money. They would lose that time.
As a fan, it's just awkward to go back and watch because when Tori Wilson said she'd be petrified to stand there, have to take the robe off, show off her body.
Yeah,
and she's standing in the corner, pretty much trying to control herself not to cry.
Not to cry, exactly. They felt like that's all they could really do. They couldn't do anything else. It was that or get fired.
And Stacey's Hall of Fame speech where Mick Foley's in the background laughing at her little quips. It's like, yeah, you sound like the weird old Uncle Beck. Like, knock it off. it was one of those weird speeches where it was like you wanted somebody to get the cane and pull her off stage. Like, knock it off, Stacey. Like, let's go.
Like, we're good. All right, you take your little trophy and go.
Yeah. And finally, we're gonna talk about everybody's favorite wrestler these days. In 2008, for the first time since 1997, WWE brought back the Slammy Awards, which we'll say here we're adding that to the list because I think there's a lot to cover with Slammy Awards.
I didn't realize they did it this year.
Yeah, they did it during WrestleMania Access. But you know what?
Yes.
I think if better promoted, they could have gotten a lot more buzz for it. But it's probably like, I don't know.
I would have went to it.
Oh yeah, because you were in Philly.
Yeah,
that just would be another plus for you to see the damn Slammy Awards.
Yeah, I was doing tourist stuff at that time.
But for the first time since 1997, WWE brought back the Slammy Awards on an episode of Raw. This is definitely the era when they just did random 3-hour episodes. 14 Slammys were awarded in total. Jesus Christ,
14,
including Superstar of the Year to Chris Jericho. Tag Team of the Year to John Morrison and The Miz, and Match of the Year for Ric Flair versus Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 24.
The I'm sorry, I love you match. I love you, I'm sorry. But...
The it was funny for this because Sean's out there accepting the award, but they're doing the whole Sean's poor gimmick. So JBL comes out and he goes, "I'm happy to take this award for my match with Finlay at WrestleMania in the Belfast Brawl, where I threw the trash can at that little bastard."
Oh my gosh.
But Chris Jericho, that was probably because he beat The Rock and Stone Cold in the same night. But 2008 was pretty much the highest his career has ever gotten.
In WWE.
I'll say overall.
Yeah. I mean, hey, you know, listen, you can't. I'm not gonna sit here and act like a Slammy was a premium award to win. You know,
right?
it wasn't, but I guess he earned it in a way.
Because he came back the year prior from taking a break from wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
He had the weird haircut. He had no longer the long blonde hair. But then once he turned heel against Shawn, instead of saying "save us," Y2J, it's "save me." Started talking like with big words that nobody understood. I mean, he did a 180 from the Y2J to whatever.
Yeah.
His new character was probably like serial killer vibes off it, where it was like he's no, because he wasn't fun Jericho anymore. He was like dead serious, wearing suits every week.
Yeah, he was trying to act like a big shot.
And that, everybody, would follow a trend of so many heels wanting to be Chris Jericho. I mean, Jack Swagger did it when he won the world title. He wore the suit and started talking serious. Eric Young turned heel and started wearing suits, talking serious. I mean, it was like so many people wanted to be Chris Jericho around this time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and just so John Morrison and The Miz, I think we had that during the pandemic, and they were nowhere near the original run.
I remember that. Yeah. Yeah. At that point, they lost their luster.
Yeah, and also too, it was like John Morrison definitely came back just for the almighty dollar, and The Miz is just doing what he wants. But
I mean, I think that's basically what John Morrison does these days anyway. He's like, hey, I'm getting paid. I don't care what I'm doing. Just pay me.
But funny enough, they now pair him with the best thing he can have with maximum MXM.
That's a great pairing.
Yeah.
The clip of him eating cookies in the stairwell in secret was hilarious. You have abs to maintain.
And on that note, I have abs to maintain too, everybody.
So me too. We gotta get dinner.
On that note, this has been episode 9 of History and Headlocks. For episode 10, the final episode of this year. For this year, everybody.
Is it?
Yeah, we're not going away. What are you talking about?
No, I'm saying, is it the last episode for 2024?
Not this one. The next one I'm talking about.
Oh, the next one. Yeah.
Because the next one is going to be. Because the next episode is going to be a very big one, and no, it's not going to be Christmas based. We're not going to cover Christmas nonsense in wrestling, even though we could.
We could.
But no, we're going to talk about the golden era of
yes.
Well, golden era for WWE. More specifically from 1987 to 1992. We're going to talk about all the characters, the feuds, and pretty much the sad downfall when the changing of the guard happened. Hulk Hogan left and new characters started on the uprise. That'll be episode 10 of History and Headlocks. And for the new year coming, we are going to do regular topics like these, like off topics about the world of wrestling. And we're going to be doing the second episode of the month is going to be what do we call Spotlight 101.
Spotlights. Yeah, Spotlight 101, and we're going to talk about different wrestlers and their career perspectives. Yeah, their career from the beginning in the indie scene to today.
All the interesting stuff about their character changes, all the certain matchups that stood out in their careers, and we came up with 4 because we're going to give you the listeners and the viewers the power.
Yes.
To tell us who we're going to cover first. And your options are Bryan Danielson, Mickie James, AJ Styles, or Christian Cage.
Yes.
We'll put a poll up on the Facebook group and put it on Instagram as well. And whoever has the highest will be our first one. And over the next, after that, we'll cover the last 3. And then going forward, it's going to be whichever one we decide on. But we wanted the first one to be very interactive. So,
exactly.
That note, for where to find us. They're on the screen, people. Like, comment, and subscribe. And until then, see you next week.
All right, guys.
Sit, turn, type, sit. Good boy. Ruff.